live at 11:05 on BC. This is Spirit Cars, and what else do I say? We're here. We're ready. We're doing it. Big news for me. This is pretty big news. Started a couple days ago. Jim started a group on Facebook called Spirit Car Owners. I think Spirit Car Owners Group, whatever. You can find it on Facebook. It's already grown to like 30-something people in 2 days, and it's really awesome because it gives Spirit Cars a way to really support the owners out there. But we have no desire to control a car club or a group or anything like that. So we don't have any ownership control of it. We can just be part of it and support it, and hopefully we get Spirit family reunions and all kinds of stuff, and it's just pretty awesome. It's, we've come to the point where we've been in business 25 years. This is our 25th anniversary year for Spirit Cars, and we've built a lot of cars. There's probably 2,000 cars out there, so that's a pretty significant number of cars, and I don't know how many are still around or who owns them, but this group can kind of gather itself together, and we can do events and be part of it. It's just kind of neat to see. We started out with a T-bucket, and we've expanded. We do Model A's now, and we do 34s and 32s and just a bunch of different stuff, but I don't want to lose our roots, which is in the T-bucket. And here's one that's been around a long time, Goldie. You can see the body in the corner. We haven't started painting that yet, but we changed our color from black to white quite a long time ago. Maybe over 10 years ago, I think. So if I see a black one, it's been around for quite a while, so I don't know how long he's had it. Collected all the parts, started put the motor together. He put the motor together and painted it. Had the frame powder coated in a metal flake, and it just was not good. And then I think it was powder coated a second time on top of that and started flaking. He might have took it back and had it going, and probably became very frustrated with it. And then now it's a dream that's like turned into not a good dream, and it's back. He brought it here, and I apologize, I cannot remember my family member's name. It's about like me and my grandkids. I got 6 grandkids and I'm calling them the wrong name already. But I will get that so we can at least have a first name of the owner. And you're probably watching, so just slap me a little bit and go, hey, you know who I am. But it's kind of a busy time around here. We got the grocery store coming around, and I mean, we've got it turned, so we'll have a museum there, and we're going to take all the turnkey stuff up there. It'll be pretty neat. There's about 30,000 square feet up there that we're doing. Anyway, brought all the parts back. We've got a bunch of stuff that we don't have to buy parts. We're just kind of assembling it. But we had to sandblast the frame. Just totally sandblasted it. Went down. A couple videos back, we talked about a good foundation, putting an epoxy primer up, building it up to where it is. And then in doing this metal flake, technology has come a long way from back in the 60s and the 70s of doing that. So it's urethane based and everything is good, and sometimes you got to wet sand it to put more clear on it with this type of a paint job, but there's enough clear on this one, and you can kind of see the differences here. Can you see how orange peely this is? Normally a paint job of ours would not be this orange peely, but since you're spraying this flake in, it is like incredibly thick flake that you're pouring in. It's metal flake that you're pouring in and stirring around and getting it, so it's actually, every time one hits, it's making a lump. So after it's all in there, you clear it, you clear it, you clear it. So we got plenty of build, plenty of mills, and as we've been sanding it, you can kind of see, I think with the camera, that can you see shiny spots in that? Here and there, in the camera? They're just like shiny spots. Those are spots that haven't been sanded all the way down, but where it's all slick and smooth, this will be like glass. And once we buff it back, it'll get all this color back and get even a better depth because it won't be orange peely like that. So we were able to go ahead and it's all cleared, it's all done, it's all good and dry. We started wet sanding today. I would say tomorrow, this thing, since the front end's been put together once, it's chrome, a little dusty now, we'll clean up everything, put it back together, put the rear end back together, put the motor in, start running brake lines. I believe, yeah, it's already had brake lines on it, so we don't even have to redo that. It's going to come together. The body is going into the body shop probably tomorrow, maybe not today, probably tomorrow. And we should have this thing painted, and this should come together pretty quick. All the parts have been gathered. Do I have a theme going on yet? Have I covered anything that's worthwhile? I'm trying to think here. This is kind of a last second. This is the project we're doing. It's an update on Goldie. Don't give up hope. There's a good theme. Sometimes we're building dreams. We say that. Sometimes it takes a long time to acquire your parts. There's probably, and here's what happens too. This car was probably on the verge of being such a deal for somebody. All this stuff can get accumulated, and if you don't build the right team around it to get it built, I mean, and we talked about that the other day too. You don't have to have all the skills to get a car built. You just have to have the vision for the car and accumulate the team around you to build it. We build lots of cars here. Like I said, we built a couple thousand cars. In a sense, I can say, well, I'm part of Spirit. I've built a couple thousand cars. Spirit has, but it took a team to do that. There are guys here that are better at painting. There are guys here that are better at motor work. There's guys here that are better at upholstery, that are better at fiberglass work, that are better at welding. They can do other things, but we all have our own special talents, our own special skills. So don't be discouraged. Take what we have, use what you can to the best of your ability, and it's all going to work out. It's going to be a car, and it's going to be an awesome car, and it's going to be a car unique. The rest of the parts for this, as this starts coming together, it's going to have a Roth theme, a kind of a rat pink theme. We've got some freedom to do scallops or something on the side, so I've got some ideas. We're gonna metal flake it, but we're gonna go with the 60s type theme. This whole car will have a 60s type theme and it'll be a modern 60s. It'll be really cool. So it's kind of a quick update on this one. We'll update on Dorothy and some of the other ones as we get along. Tweety, I think we're waiting for some parts for that. Alan's going to send a few parts. We're going to blow the motor apart, paint it, and get it all going. So that's it for today, pretty much. Like, subscribe. What else can you do? Get notifications. What does that mean?
Comment.
Oh, comment. Yeah, comment. I like the comments. Go check out if you're. I'm not sure what the rules are. If you have to own a Spirit car to be a member. But if you own a Spirit car, you can be a member. But I looked at the group. It's open, so you can go look at the group, whether you're a member or not. You can comment whether you're a member or not, it looks like. So if you're thinking about building a Spirit car, it's a great place to go and find out what the experience was like for those that have already done it. And it's a good place to keep me accountable too. I'll be hanging out there, and you know, it'll help us to grow even better, because if there's some issues that somebody's having with, you know, the caliper don't fit on the bracket, well, that's because the calipers, even though they're the same, they come from different places. Some are made in Mexico, some are made in China, some are made in the US. And some, even though it's the same caliper that fits, some have a little different castings here. Some of them you got to do just grind a little bit on the casting to be able to put the piece into here. So, I mean, if you're having issues like that, make us aware of it. Maybe it's something we can fix in the manufacturing process, which would be great. The easier it is and the better. That's kind of the main reason we do turnkey cars. It's not because it's not the bread and butter of the company, but it helps us on our engineering. If we built the car, we understand how it goes together, where some of the other companies, and I'm not saying bad about anybody, but some of the other companies just they might build a body or they might build a frame, but they don't build a car in the context of, here's the complete kit, a super kit for everything you need, just put it together. We've really kind of taken the initiative on that years ago, and it gave us our niche in the market, and we're kind of proud of that, and we want to keep on building on that. We don't want to be stale in anything. So we've kind of come to the point where it's the trigger part. It's the trigger part. I mean, we don't want politics in our daily lives, but it's part of our world. So if you don't like religion, you probably don't want to hang out here. I don't like religion either, but I'm a faith-based kind of guy. So I got the word. I got the sword. So give me a second to think of something here. The word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. You have any idea where that comes from? Anybody out there have any? Where does it come from? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John would be the third and fourth gospel here. So in the beginning would be John chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines into the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Just read that. That's not even the first chapter. That's just the first 5 verses. It wouldn't hurt to read that over and over and over and over. And if you believe that in the beginning of the Word, how powerful is that if God can just speak something into existence, but it was with Christ, through Christ, in him. So what is the Word? We're in a battle. If you believe the Word tells us pretty clear. There is a good and there is evil, and there is war going on, and there's angels, and this is a fight, and it's a fight to the finish. And the good news is we win. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, and we are more than conquerors through him that strengthens us. But when we talk about a battle, it takes some weapons. And I think we talked about the armor of God, did we not, a while back? It's in Ephesians, the end of Ephesians. Put on the full armor of God. Helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shod your feet with the gospel of peace, the belt of truth, a shield of faith. I don't think I missed any in that, but none of those are weapons. There's one weapon. It's the sword of the Spirit, the Word of God. So our only weapon is the Word of God. If God says it, it's true because he said it. And he's so powerful, he created everything with his Word. And in the Word was Jesus in the beginning. We can get right with God, with Jesus, through Jesus, because of Jesus. And because of that, we can have a peace that the world doesn't even understand in the middle of huge conflict. And right now there's a battle going on, battle royale. It beats anything the WWE can put together. I mean, and this isn't even a pay-per-view. We get to live it. We get to be part of it. This is exciting times we're in. So I would just suggest that was a long way to say here's just something to a devotion for the day. Read John chapter 1, verses that look like what? 1 through 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll do something else, but we'll see you then.